Hello, this is Kevin Carr back with IMC Search and Search Marketing Labs, and we are at video number 2 of our Search Engine Synchronization Whiteboard series. And what we're going to be talking about in this quick video is we're going to be talking about the basics. You have to be able to start somewhere. Some of this may be, a little bit too light for a lot of people watching this video, but we have to make sure that everybody starts with the right understanding of what we're going to be going through within this series. So, in the basics, the first thing we want to talk about is just the search engines. Everybody you'll hear a lot of different optimization companies or those different software programs out there talk about 500 search engines and talk about all the different types of places that they're going to put your website. But ultimately, there's only 3 that you need to know, and that's Google, Yahoo, and MSN. They cover about 90% of the traffic on the internet. So what happens is once you get top billing in some of these engines, the other engines will follow. A lot of people ask me about, well, am I going to get ranked in Alexa? Is this type of system going to also help me get into Ask or AOL? Yes, of course, because all those individual engines use an algorithm which is very similar to the rest of the search engines with some small tweaks. But here you're covering 90% of the market and all the other search engines are going to fall into place. So don't worry about anybody else but the top 3. And obviously, we know who we have to worry about the most and who we want to actually prove that our website is great to, and that's Google. So as I go through this individual series, I'm going to be talking mostly about Google, but if you're able to satisfy Google and get listings there, then Yahoo and MSN are going to fall in check as well. So these are the 3 engines we want to stick with, and those are the ones that we really worry about getting our top listings in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about the difference between paid listings and natural listings. Now, paid listings are when you're actually paying per click for every visitor that you receive. So in any engine that you run into now, Google, Yahoo, MSN in particular, you're going to see about 2 or 3 links here at the top of the page that say sponsored links, and then a group of links down the right-hand side. Now that is where the PPC, or the pay-per-click advertisers, go to. Now these are very expensive positions because you're paying for every individual visitor that goes to your website. Now a lot of recent studies actually show that more people click on the natural listings, which are the top 10 positions in the search engine, than the actual paid listings, because people are understanding now that these are ads. So these individual people are paying to be there, while these people are there by merit. So the great websites under a search term are in the natural listings here in the individual top 10. So what we're talking about is getting natural listings. Now one of the things, a big question that I hear from a lot of people is, I received an email from a company and they said that they could get me in the top 1, 2, or 3 position in 48 hours. And they can do it for $500 or whatever price point they put out there. Now always remember that they're putting you here in the sponsored listings. So from there you're going to be paying for every single visitor. This is free natural traffic and as much as your website can eat up. So you want to make sure that you're in the natural listings, and that's what search engine synchronization is all about, is proving to the search engine your website is good enough to be in the natural listings, which is really important. Now the last thing that I want to do here is go over some industry terms. Now with the industry terms, these are things that we're going to be talking about here as we go through our series. So I'm actually just going to write all these down, and you want to make sure that you take notes of these because I'm going to be mentioning these key terms for our industry throughout this video series. So let me just wipe this down real quick. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start out with is you're going to hear this phrase quite a bit. Algorithm. Now basically an algorithm is the way that a search engine defines how it ranks individual websites. So within an algorithm, they're going to be looking at how your code is structured, they're going to be looking at your links, they're going to be looking at the copy that you have on your website, the type of code that you use, whether it be HTML or dynamic code. Those are the things that envelop an algorithm or their secret code to how they list websites. And always remember, nobody knows the algorithm. All you're doing is when you do optimization or search engine synchronization, you're actually going in and you're going by their guidelines and doing the best things possible to get ranked. So if anybody says, hey, we know Google's algorithm and we're going to get you ranked, just hang up the phone and go to the next one. Now we're also going to be talking about key phrases. Okay, now we say key phrases and not keywords. And the reason being is a keyword would be a single phrase, like baseball or football, soccer, something like that. And those individual phrases are pretty much taken up on the internet. So you're really not going to be able to be listed under a single phrase, maybe unless it's your company name or something else. So we always talk about key phrases. So key phrases are 2 words that are combined, or 3 words or 4 words, depending on the product, that are combined that people search for. So like baseball bat, aluminum baseball bat. These are things that describe the products on your website. So always remember we use key phrases, not keywords, because you're not really going to get listed for a keyword. Alright, so the next thing that I want to talk about here is web copy. Okay, now web copy is basically the HTML text on your individual website that describes your product or service. These could be pages on the inside of your website, the small amount of text that you have on your home page. It can be a sales letter, but when we're talking about web copy, we're talking about the HTML text on your page. It doesn't include photos or images or anything else, color schemes. This is just the HTML text on your page.